Hello everyone, and yeah, welcome back. It's about the problem that we found yesterday in F1 2012, and we had to discuss this all because I thought that something's gone wrong purely with this. Yesterday I was trying the Singapore practice session, and in the practice session I discovered really serious issue with these tyres. I pitted in at the 7th lap of my practice session. There's some damage to it, and what they found is possibly a faulty traction control. So I think the steering with the traction control is pretty much up against the challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 15 minutes to tell about the real issue. So when I first started the practice session, what I found is when I gone through turn 5, what I found is it first drifted, and I thought that these tyres, they just simply have higher tyre wear. So what I did, I decided to keep going. And keeping going was in fact a good idea, otherwise than just pitting in for some fresh tyres. So what I thought was basically everything was gonna go fine during this practice session, and I was gonna think I'm gonna set a fast lap. Well, I did set a fast lap during the practice session, and I simply thought, yes, practice session is gonna be just fine. So yeah, it was nothing to nothing for overthinking that, well, it's gonna be fail, and that was simply a fail. In fact, it might be because of the hits of the curbs at turn 10, which is simply a chicane which you'll have to pass through in a straight line, and I don't think that's difficult to master the turn. And in fact, that turn just really wears your tyres out a lot. So I don't know why turn 10 is designed like this. Singapore Sling chicane is obviously probably the worst chicane in Formula 1. And I ever thought it was in fact no better than ever thinking if somewhat this was gonna stop. So I continued up until and I thought that my tyres were wearing out at turn 14 on about lap 6, and the 6th lap of the practice session, and I ever thought that was simply just not that much problematic, or overall what I found was just, yeah, it was all the practice session was just filled with problems. And for every lap in the practice session we had a problem. So yeah, basically I don't know what's going wrong with my tyres at the Singapore practice session, but you know, the Singapore practice sessions, normally a practice session will go fine, but in this instance the practice session is going horribly wrong, and every time we have an issue. Purely it's either this one just to move outside, move it so I can see better. And purely the practice session was simply gonna all go fine. So yeah, it's overall it wasn't going good. So we had in fact the only lap that we didn't have any problems was the third lap. Everything was going fine, everything looked to be going fine, but yeah, when it did go fine, yes, it just, and then like 6th lap in the practice session, it then just gone overkill. So what I did is 7th lap I decided to pit in and figure out the repair, and it took like 5.5 minutes to repair the vehicle. And then what I did is I just set out back on track, and what I found out is just that drifting, the tyre marks on the car was in fact probably the wear that the curbs at turn 10 were using and were doing. So yeah, it looks like curbs at turn 10 are really high from the looks of it. Turn 10 is in fact wearing your tyres out a lot, which means you're certainly going to have to, after you're out for long with these old set of tyres, you're going to have to pit in for a set of fresh tyres, because after you've come through turn 10 loads of times, and your tyres are certainly going to wear from these high curbs. So yeah, there's basically all the issues that rise and rise gradually as you progress through that, and the practice sessions, they're all just filled. But we were thinking what's going to be ahead, and the same with the qualifying sessions, because I'm doing this now on a long race weekend, and the long race weekend includes the practice sessions and the qualifying the race. So I thought, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the tyre wear throughout the 3 qualifying sessions before, and I thought there's going to be enough tyre wear before the race. And and the race is 61 laps long, and 61 laps, that's a lot. 61 laps, yeah, 61. The Singapore's 61, because that's based on a street circuit that has 23 turns in, and it seems that turn 10 is wearing the tyres. And yeah, I decided to exit the pits and try again. But eventually I thought, and then there was just like something wrong at turn 5, at lap 7. If I tried lap 7 again, I made another skid at turn 5, and then at turn 5 I tried to back out. And get back on my wheels, but eventually that didn't work, because I'm not sure that was enough. There was another skid, and then when I passed, then I skidded through turn 7, which is an overtaking spot. I drifted through turn 7 and again through turn 9 before the tyre wore out again through turn 10. So what I thought, that there was another problem. Also, like, one of the laps I also skidded at turn 17, but I found another problem. I'm not sure the steering was enough to make the exit out of turn 21. At turn 21, that's the exit from that's the entrance from turn 20. So I decided to pit again, and since the description before the start of that practice session said that you need high downforce levels, I chose to switch more likely to the wet setup, and then I thought, oh, it's gonna work. But eventually I finally decided to do so, and I eventually decided to exit onto the track. So finally, after exiting onto the track, I've noticed another problem with the downforce, with the setup. The setup has pretty much really slow top speed, and that's really poor, because you can't customize in the monitor screen. You can't customize it because there are set parc ferme rules in. So the parc ferme is like same with the qualifying session, and also the races which are in fact basically the race weekend, same with the career mode. So that was no good, the practice session. So yeah, the practice session was just no good. Just no good. So finally the downforce levels, they were all just, that was going to give us low top speed and higher risk of skidding. Maybe in fact the tyre wear, maybe the tyre wear is causing a problem. So yeah, the tyre problems are just tyre problems. They've probably come in a lot. Like, I've worn out a lot. The fifth lap of the practice session. And the practice session overall, the practice, it was in fact, the car was, what I've noticed then, the car was in fact in horrible shape. But it had damage to the front wing, maybe because of the loads of tyre wear. The loads of tyre wear is simply gonna make a car exposed to more skidding. More car skidding, that means that's a higher chance of damage. And also on the fifth lap I crashed at like turn 14 and I had to roll back because there was just like gross amount of damage. That it was in fact simply, that was gonna make carnage throughout the track. So there's gonna be crashes. There were gonna be like crashes at every single exit of a turn. Like every exit of a turn, there was gonna be some damage at every exit, even turn 10. I know how to master turn 10 well, but yeah, turn 10 is simply causing all that tyre wear. So I decided to pit in and change the tyre settings back to where they were. So I decided to set out on the track, but I thought it was gonna skid. The car was then gonna skid. I had to reverse out, and then I got a 10-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. And I thought that was not gonna come to plan because there was something wrong with the car, with the tyres. I'm thinking the tyres were probably simply worn out, and I should have pitted in for a fresh set of tyres. In fact, install a fresh set of tyres, so we can then set off again with a new fresh set of tyres, with in fact no tyre wear, and in a good condition, and then we would then have no problems then. So yeah, the tyre problems, the issues, we had a great, every time almost every lap at Singapore we just had a problem. We had a long list of problems that in fact the Formula 1 technician would really Formula 1 technician back in the pits would really have to fix this, or somewhat. But well, yeah, the tyre issues, they're just stupid. I don't know why is this happening, because you know well, and I know well that this tyre issue is simply, yeah, the tyre issues, they're all not good. But yeah, the tyre wear from turn 10, that was causing the problems at every single lap. So I think that there was like somewhat a major cause for somewhat a great unexpected issue that would cause us so much of this to happen. So yeah, the skidding during the practice session, but I'm thinking that the 3 qualifying sessions are just gonna go fine. There's gonna be no problems at all with the qualifying sessions and the race as well, because we need to be prepared for a 61 lap race, because 61 laps, that's in fact perhaps a lot. 61, it's a magic number. So yeah, this is it with the F1 practice problems. This is it.